Two things to say before I start this video. Thank you for the support and the love that my last video got. It got a lot of positive feedback from people, and I also got we got some constructive criticism as to things that could be improved. Took all that on board. Thank you very much. I'm really happy that that went down, and I've been told by a handful of people that that's one of the best videos I've ever done. So to anyone that watched it, thank you very much. Makes me feel good that I know I'm doing it right, and I hope my content stays at that kind of level. Today I want to kind of contradict my last video, and I want to talk about why Tag Der Toten, the last map we got in Black Ops 4, why it wasn't that bad of a map. By the sound of it, I came across that the map was terrible. It's not terrible. The map itself was actually one of my favorite maps to play in Black Ops 4. 9 is my favorite overall. I would rather play 9 than Tag. However, I did thoroughly enjoy the experience of Tag Der Toten. I'm never going to say I didn't, because when I was playing it with Adam and when we were doing the Easter egg together, we both said the same thing, that it is a very well done map. It's a very underrated map for Black Ops 4. But today I kind of want to talk about why it wasn't that bad of a map. I have a couple of reasons kind of just written down, not scripted or anything, it's just words to help me through. But I'll be saying most of this off the top of my head, so basically if it sounds like I'm rambling, I'm sorry. It's just non-scripted videos generally turn into rambling videos, and that's what this is probably going to end up being. First thing I want to talk about is the characters. A lot of people weren't happy with the fact that it wasn't the traditional Ultimus crew or Primus crew. It was actually Victus. It was the transit crew. So we had Stuhlinger, Marlton, Russman, and Misty. People weren't too happy about it, but at the same time, they were there since the beginning of Black Ops 4. We saw them in the cryogenic chambers, so we knew they were going to be involved at some stage. It was just a case of when. I don't think the characters were a problem. I think they added more to it, that okay, the other crew can't really get involved, so they have to kind of do everything themselves, which is fine. You know, like they gave them little pointers here and there, like okay, you got to do this, that, and the next in storyline. In the map, we didn't really get told much. We kind of had to just guess what we had to do as usual, but hey, that's the nature of the Easter eggs for you. The setting is the next thing I want to talk about. It's set in Call of the Dead before the events of any of the storyline happened, for anyone that doesn't know. But we got extra added on the map. Like the original Call of the Dead, we didn't have the facility that we have access to in Tag Der Toten, so that was all kind of blocked off. In this, we had access to that facility, so we got to see what was actually going on in there, and that's where the test subjects were being held until Richtofen started experimenting on them. Overall, it was a very good remaster of a map with the added extra of the facility on top, so you're never going to hear me say that the map itself is fucking dog shit. It was a fun experience. However, if it was put into another game, it might have been a little bit better, but just given the game it was in, it obviously had that stigma going for it that, yeah, this is gonna suck. Didn't really suck, but overall Call of the Dead was one of the better maps of the series, so to see it redone for Tag Der Toten where everything technically began, it was actually quite nice to see. Dialogue is another thing, the way the characters interact with each other, the way Stuhlinger interacts with Richtofen, the way Nikolai interacts with all of them. It adds a lot of depth to the map in my opinion. But then again, dialogue is always a finicky thing in zombies because it has to tell a story while at the same time it has to be relevant. And there was a lot of audio reels around the map that you could play, like radios and stuff, of the guy in the lighthouse telling about how he's been there for so long and what he wants to do and why he wants to get out and how he's been there for such a long time. So that all kind of ties the story together in the end and makes it a nice kind of experience. The way the dialogue like ties everything together, it just makes it's a nice ending to the entire story, as in it was rushed, yes, because you could see that the reels were there just to kind of tie up loose ends that were left wide open because of the way the story went. So it kind of gives a nice little conclusion to some bits, but not all of it. Two more things, then the video's done. The first one we'll talk about is the ending itself. The final quote-unquote boss fight that we had, where basically we had to escort the Agarthan device through the whole map up to the facility and then have one of the most intense couple of minutes in the entire game, where they reused the sphere from the Staff of Ra, the heat sphere that slows down the zombies as they come in and kills them, and they reused that texture to basically give the sense that it's closing in, which means the circle is closing up, it's finishing the story. It just gives the idea that as the circle closes in, it's closing off the story, it's finishing what we have spent 10 years playing. And it's an awesome reused texture, but it's one of the most intense moments of the game. Plus, you also have to deal with that really intense part where it's just while you're in there, the zombies are just coming at you over and over again. There's no stopping the wave. And eventually, with the intense rock music and everything in the background, eventually you finish this sequence, and it's just a wave of relief when you're done. Like, I had tried it I think 3 times at that stage, and then in the footage you're seeing now at the end where me and Adam are running back to the boat, that had been my 4th attempt, and that was Adam's first. He just jumped into my game and we said, right, fuck it, we're doing this. So we did it in one run, pretty much flawless if I remember right. I think we had 1 down each or something, I can't remember honestly. But my final point is about the ending of the cutscene at the end, where Sam and Eddie are walking away from the camera. They're facing away from the camera, they're walking towards a white light. That can be taken up as a very symbolic thing. In my opinion, that can be taken up as Samantha and Eddie are walking away from us. They're walking into a new world. They're leaving this world that we've just been involved in behind. And the fact that we are controlling them, we have to make them walk away. It's almost as if the developers are giving us the final push to say, this is it, you have to let go. You have to let go of all these characters that we've built relationships with over the past 10 years, that we've become emotionally involved with. This story that went on and on. We have to be the ones to actually let it go. We have the final say. Instead of just having an ending cutscene and then it cuts to the end with the menu. We perform the final act, which is letting them walk away from us into something new. Something that we won't see yet. We might never see. Knowing that they're safe and can continue their lives in another universe. Free of the apothecants, free of the keepers, free of everything. Where they can live normal, happy lives and live out their childhoods. We know that, yeah, okay, what about the millions of other people that we killed throughout the whole thing as the zombies? They're not free. They never were. They were just accidentally infected by element 115, and yeah, that's kind of shitty, but technically, I think, looking forward, I think that Black Ops 5 might focus on the Samantha and Eddie side of the story, as in what happens after they walk out of Tag, after they walk into the new world. We don't know yet. We probably won't know until next year when we get told something. But that's all the points I wanted to make. I do feel like Tag was a good map in a bad game, which is unfortunate to say the least, because the game in general was okay. Yes, I did shit on it quite a lot in my last video. However, I did say at the end, for the amount of shit that I gave it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Which should say a lot. The fact that I can say I enjoyed a game that was terrible, but then again, yeah, I did shit all over it. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. It really helps me out with people finding the channel for the first time. Be sure to subscribe, ring the bell to get notified if and when I upload. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.